All right, so yes, it is time for some beast class, and just to throw this out there, it sounds kind of similar to Berserker. I know it could be a very significant difference, but today that's gonna change my mind, right? Yeah, this video is gonna change how I view, how Berserker and Beast could kind of sound similar, but be very different. Because there's one very specific Berserker that yeah, you guys know who I'm talking about too. I had to look at a whole hour video on him. Yeah, he's crazy. Like I'm just surprised how he even got taken out and like Fate Stay. Was it? Yeah, Fate Stay, and then like Unlimited Blade Works and all that. Crazy, right? But other than that, yes, let's see what this is all about. A true menace among mankind. Yeah, let's see if that title is worthy. So yeah, this was like the follow-up video to what I just looked at. So yeah, let's just see what it's all about. And I know I still, yeah, there's that one video I got that I was interested in. Yeah, it was supposed to be this one first. Then yeah, there was another one I was interested in. Just gonna look at it real quick. So yeah, I don't know, like I said, when that's gonna come out, but for now, yeah, since you guys want me to look at this for a follow-up, yeah, I just, might as well do this. Other than that though, not much else I can say. Just hope you guys will enjoy this. Make sure you like, subscribe, and let's just get this thing started.
All right, man. Rise up, grind up. You guys picked it. We ran the poll again. And we got the Beast class coming in with the heavy dunk. Let's
look
get
very
it.
close
We've already
though.
talked about the Grand class. It's only right that we talk about the Beast that the Grands come out for. So, the Beast class. The evils of humanity.
Evil,
they are
okay.
a collection based on the cardinal sins of humanity manifested as separate entities. And although they might appear to be evil, their true goal is actually to protect humanity through the most aggressive way imaginable.
Yeah,
by
Beast.
force. So for the first beast, we got
Of course.
Goetia. He is a manifestation of Solomon's magecraft. Near the end of Solomon's life, it was often speculated that he had rings that allowed him to perform magic. By tapping into the same divine wisdom that he received from God, this allowed him to summon 72 demons and angels. Fate took that concept and ran with it, making Goetia the embodiment of those spirits. Using Solomon's body, Goetia was able to conduct a 3,000-year plan to destroy all of humanity. He did this
There's
by
always something with
incinerating
humanity,
every single
like,
human
bro.
on the planet, except us, of course.
Humans
When
are
it comes
just
to his
crazy,
sin,
right?
Goetia is the beast of pity, as he
Cause
felt
our
sorrow
own
for
demise
mankind.
and
The
all
only
that.
true way that he could possibly save them is by wiping the slate clean.
And that looks
I can't deal with y'all.
crazy.
His skill is Nega Summon, which allows him to completely ward off any true damage that comes from a servant, except Solomon himself. If you've seen the Solomon chapter, you know that he
Ooh.
goes up against at least 100
Okay,
summons
oh,
at
Frankenstein?
once, and they couldn't do a thing to him. Sure, you had the anime taking its own liberties with Rasuka, but that's an entirely different conversation. While he is an amalgamation, he does boast the ability to summon the 72 demon god pillars under his wing, so you gotta deal with them too. Next up, you got the second beast, Tiamat. She is Fate's take on the primordial sea goddess that came from Mesopotamian myth. Now, as a primordial goddess, she's the same one that spawned all the life on Earth. She has multiple forms, and in the story, she continued to make her transformations based on the level of danger she was in. It took multiple high-level servants just to bring her down.
Yeah, I can definitely tell that, yeah.
A Grand, who was King Hassan, a Candidate, who was Merlin, and even when we did beat her, it was less of us defeating her and more of her just giving up. She's with that, I'm telling you. Tiamat comes to us as the beast of regression. Due to the advancement of mankind, she kind of feels like we turned our back on her, and she has a lot of angst for the world because of that reason. Therefore, the only proper way to restore the balance is by flooding the entire world with her mud and making everybody her children once again. Her skill being negagenesis, it's a bounded field that allows her to minimize the damage of a phantasm from any regular servant. Another thing is that since she is the mother goddess, she does have the power to use her chaos tide to turn people into her children. Once you've been submerged in this mud, you will be reborn as one of her children and continue on in the process, otherwise known as the Lamu. You have the Bel Lamu, which were the strongest firstborn beings that were closest to her, gaining access in flight, power, and even higher survivability in comparison to all the other Lamu. The other side of the spectrum is when she takes control of a servant, which in that case, they will view anybody or anything that goes against their mother as the enemy. Next up, you got the Beast 3, Kiara. Now, this is the first beast that we deal with that has its own counterpart. The reason being is that this beast tackles two sides of the same concept, that concept being love. One of them deals extensively with inward love, which is Kiara, and the other one deals with outward love towards others, which is Kama. Kiara, like many other concepts that you see in Grand Order, is just another character that's been reimagined to fit the scheme. Originally, she was one of the main bosses back in Fate Extra CCC, technically being a beast before beasts were even a thing.
Yeah,
Her
something else is a beast on that body.
Hey, I'm
just saying.
Class, which are some of the most notable classes in Fate in general. She is in fact the beast of pleasure, meaning that instead of imposing an outward love like Kama, Kiara believes that she can save the world by imposing an inward love toward herself. And by save us, it means to literally fuck us to death.
Yeah.
Serious. She conceptually puts the world in her womb.
That's why she's the most memorable for me.
To save the world. At least that would have been her plan if we didn't stop her in the chapter.
That and what? Yeah, whatever's going on with that chest area, right?
Of course, she scales up to devastating the entire planet. Easy. In fact, she already had plans to do so once she got outside the chapter. There was a bad end where she just touched the main character and he dissolved into nothing. Okay, she has hair tentacles that can one-shot you. She used 128 servants just for food over and over again. She even bodied one of Goetia's demon pillars. He tried to take control of her, and the only thing he could come up with was her pinky, and then she ate him. Where's the mercy? And then on the other side, you have Kama, who is also Beast 3. She's comprised of two entities, Kama, who is the deity of love from the Hindu pantheon, and Mara, who is the demon king that appears in Buddhism. As a whole, they work together as one unit to tackle the cardinal sin of lust. Her main skill is nega desire, which allows her to charm any being.
Bro, there's a whole lot of nega going on up in here.
To weaken under her domain. So that's basically everybody, because everybody wants something. This was something that was shown overtly to us in her domain.
But yeah, these beasts are something else, though.
No harm to her at all. If that wasn't enough, as long as she has territorial advantage, she can continue to multiply her existence. She's
I remember that, yeah.
Take out one, she separates into two. She has ridiculous amounts of power, conceptually being stated to be universe level, and she's only held back by the fact that she had to borrow Sakura's body to pull it off. So in that light, technically they're dudes in Sakura's body. I don't know how else to frame that. Mind you that both of these spirits, Kama and Kiara, never fully matured. This is also reinforced by the fact that despite them being planetary and universal level, they're thresholded to their respective chapters. Had they been given enough time to fully mature, then the counterforce would have definitely sent out another Grand to deal with the job. Crazy to think how powerful they were and they hadn't finished growing yet. Except Kiara, she was pretty much done. Next up we got
Was that a
Beast
pancake
4,
he took?
and
Who
that
was
is
that?
our
A
highly
rock?
favored accomplished foe who tags along with us as we progress through the story. Turns out this is just the premature tame version of his true form. His real form is primate murder, a beast capable of taking down every primate.
I was like, hold on, that's what it truly is. Like, hold on.
Merlin around to come in and intervene.
What type of form
And
is
this just goes
that?
to show how broke Merlin is. Merlin was able to tame this beast and keep him in this state by himself, which would normally take 7 counter guardians to pull it off. In other words, 7 Emias. He did the job of 7 Emias on his own. Even when it comes to this childlike state of foe, he still was capable of using hundreds of years of magical energy and save Mash's life in the first half of the story. Because of that, we can't communicate with him like we used to, but it's still a great feat nonetheless. And that's just when he's young. He is the beast of comparison, highlighting the envy of man, constantly trying to outdo one another, and his skill is still unknown because we've yet to see his full potential. Then we have another beast for Koyanskaya. Currently, she is inhabiting the vessel of Tamamo.
So most of these I've actually
great
seen
monsters
already.
of Japan. Koyanskaya herself felt like Tamamo was a worthy vessel since Tamamo was originally fated to go against mankind anyway. She is the beast of cherishment, addressing the sin of gluttony, people who like to indulge too much in things that they shouldn't have. Nothing's ever good enough. You know, you look around and you see a lot of that now. Well, you'll see a lot of that at any time, but especially now, everybody thinks they're supposed to be special.
Now that looks
Nobody wants to be normal, and they
pretty
just
fire right
completely
there.
forego the essentials of life. It's a mess out here. Her skill is nega self, which negates the independence of the animal
Nah,
she's
bro.
taken inside of her.
I'm
So
telling you,
far
all
from
this
what we know, she
nega,
was
right?
seeking to become the first
Nah, let me
composite
stop.
beast using the main character, the alien god, and Amaterasu as a part of her spirit board, or her saint graph. Her general makeup. This would without a doubt make her bar none to most of the entities in the verse. Next up we got Beast 6 from Fate Prototype Fragments.
It's a question
This is
mark,
better
or
known as Beast of 666 from the Book of Revelations. We
okay.
hear about their appearance at the end of the story when they're summoned by Monica. Their skill is Nega Messiah, and if we're using another beast for example, the skill essentially means that it negates anything that relates to Christ.
Of
Holy
course, right?
weapons,
Of
holy
course.
concepts, scriptures, figures, so on and so forth. It is also the beast of depravity, recognizing the overall greed of humanity. Keep in mind that this beast was premature, and it took Arthur unlocking half of his seals on Excalibur and getting help from several servants lending him energy just to take this beast down. And it wasn't even finished growing yet. Per usual, it can devastate the planet. As of right now, there are multiple variants of Beast 6 that we're still learning about. The Whore of Babylon being one of them. This stems off into a different timeline from the original FGO, that being FGO Arcade. In this take of FGO, you have one variant of Beast 6 who manifests in the body of Nero Claudius as the Whore of Babylon. You heard me right.
The
Even
what?
in the Beast class, somehow you cannot escape becoming a Saberface. I'm convinced that we'll all become Saberfaces eventually. Her sin is depravity and her skill is Nega Messiah. And in a similar fashion to the Gorgon that appears in Babylonia, she can also summon her own demonic beasts that act as her subordinates. Lastly, we have the honorable mention.
What type of
which, course,
angle?
go to
Nah,
our beast
bro.
candidates who didn't quite become a beast,
I know
but
exactly.
they do fit
Nah.
the role had they been led down that path and given enough time.
Unless
We
that
have
was something
the
else.
OG, my guy, Angra Mainyu, the first Avenger, the spirit that specializes in hunting down mankind. What you gotta remember about Angra is that at the end of Stay Night, he was never truly born. We were able to stop his birth at the end of Heaven's Field, so we never had to worry about him getting to this state or going out of control. What we see in Ataraxia is his spirit just taking form in the shape of Shiro's body, since the entirety of Ataraxia operates on the dream sequence to begin with. However, in the event that things did get out of control, Nasu has already addressed this in a Q&A. He said that Angra would have flooded the entire Earth with his Grail mud, so think the end of Fate Zero, but the whole world. And by the time that he got halfway, the counterforce would have been like, oh no sir, we gotta send something out for this man. And then they would have put out a grand or whatever spirit they deemed appropriate at the time. Then you have, you guessed it, your favorite wizard, the man Merlin.
Yeah, of course.
That because of his background, in a scenario where he wasn't on our side, he too would be a threat to humanity. You even have.
Now I can see how overpowered he is. Like,
would be a premature
something
beast.
else.
I mean, if you pay attention to the way that he acts now, Merlin doesn't really rub you as this benevolent person to begin with. He does exactly what he's supposed to at the very last minute, and that's it.
At
He's
the
more
last
like a
minute.
Shakespeare teetering on the line of good and evil just because he finds it interesting to see how everything unfolds. That's why he's always trolling us, showing up in just the nick of time. You gotta love it. And then there's Amaterasu, who is the sun goddess
she is
from
big.
Shinto religion. She's been referenced several times in Fate already, especially along the lines of Fate Extra. She is one of the highest goddesses in Japanese myth in general, and by extension, she is often considered one of the strongest. Her spirit is so powerful, even in Fate, that it has to be divided into several parts, which is where we get concepts like the Tamamo 9. Going back to Koyanskaya, this sets up the background for one of those spirits, which was Tamamo Vich, the same body that Koyanskaya is using to get to her goal. She wants to recreate the power of the nine-tailed fox, but with something even more powerful, something that shouldn't exist. It's like putting the strongest spirits you can find in the blender and coming out with a homunculus or a chimera. Have you seen this? It's disgusting. Look
Hey,
at this.
oh, let's see, what am I
She's
looking
got
at?
legs on her hips. She's got feet on her chest. This is just horrifying. What are you trying to prove? Going back to Amaterasu, she herself mentions in Extra that she is an evil to mankind, and in the event that she could manifest enough of her spirit at once, she would straight up be a beast. This is pretty impossible considering how strong she is, unless of course fate finds a loophole, which you know it always does, but that will be the case. The reason that we're able to make it work out so far is that the Tamamo 9 don't have all of their tails, so most of their power is cut off. Regardless, it's crazy to consider how strong they are without all of their tails. How the original Tamamo, or any of them for that fact, are only drawing out 1/9 of their true power, and they're still lethal. Then there's the one and the only, the alien god, Beast 7. Now this is a heavy hitter and pretty much the end game for FGO Part 2. Currently she is manifesting in the body of our former director, Olga. As of right now, we know that she's seeking out the destruction of the current world and wants the reemergence of the age of the gods. That way,
I knew she was unique.
Far more inhabitable for people of her kind.
I didn't know all that, but
we haven't seen her sin or her skill yet, and she was actually nerfed into B7's spear board just to be summoned on Earth. As far as her powers go, we know that she was the one that cast out the seeds that made the lost belts on the planet in the first place. Basically, she was able to inject the planet with alternate dimensions on her own leadership and wipe the entire planet clean while doing so. She's based on Satan or Lucifer himself, one of the most beloved angels that was cast out of heaven. She's got an impeccable roster when it comes to her lineup, working with people like Kiara as a pseudo-servant, Shiro as a pseudo-servant, and Doman, who tried to become a beast that serves as a representative for hell. And that's just scratching the surface.
Okay, yeah, that's just scratching the surface from how he says it. So yeah, that's like when I first saw her, I'm like, yeah, that design is definitely very unique. Felt very different to me when I saw it in El Malloy. and sort of yeah took a liking to that character. And well, yeah, here we go. I guess yeah, it was a good thing I took a liking, cause I'm like, yeah, it just seems like there's something different about her. I don't know. And here we go. Yes, a part of something, great. But yeah, that's it. Here we go with all the beasts. See, I didn't know about really about all of them. Just yeah, stuff like this just yeah, a little too much. And I know you guys probably saw me laughing at the nine tail. I was just thinking about Naruto on that, cause y'all currently looking at that, and yep, nine tails, right? Merlin, yeah, I ain't even got to talk about him from that last video I just saw. Yeah, over here talking about what was it? I think only like a portion of his strength was used, and then like his main, I think his main body or something. I think it was all in like his own universe or something, his own world. So basically, it's like yeah, he could look overpowered, but really he's only using like a portion of his strength, while the rest of it's somewhere else. Yeah, good thing that's a question mark. I don't want nothing to do with that B6, bro. I am good on that. I learned all I could on that. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. Um, I like that though. Yeah, yeah. Anything with like a fiery type of design, I'm a like. You know, especially something like this. This looks crazy. Yeah, white and well, really, yeah, white. I don't know. It's just white just makes things look powerful. You know, um, whether it has to do with your hair or like your aura or something, it just makes it look powerful. And then like that fiery type of look to it. Yeah, I don't know, but that's just to me at least. Yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, yeah, see, I see it in this form all the time, but then I'm like, when I saw the true form, I'm like, oh, that's what it is. Like, yeah, it had me fooled that whole time. Cause I have seen this, but then I think of Otaku, I think it was some yeah, Otaku, in one of those videos when they finally yeah revealed that to me. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it was. Yeah, let me see that. Let me. Yeah, it looked like a. Oh, I keep on. Oh no, it looked like something else. I'm like, is that a pancake or something? Still look like it though. But yeah, someone like yeah, was it Kama and Kiara, right? Yeah, I definitely know about those two. Um, and who else? Oh yeah, and this is yeah definitely a very unique design for these creatures. Very yeah, I wouldn't want nothing to do with that. Your mouth is sideways, and just the way how your body is. Yeah, that's something else. Now, she's new, I think. I did just see her in the last video, so you know, obviously this isn't the first time I'm seeing her, but no, I think she would be yeah completely new to me. And then what was his name? Goetia? Yeah, not exactly. Yeah, I've seen him plenty of times at this point. Um, Probably yeah would be one of the first beast class. It's either him or Kiara and Kama, right? That I've seen. Kiara is definitely the most memorable. If it's anyone, it's definitely her. Yeah, but yeah, that should be it. All of these different beasts and stuff. Oh yeah, and then also her. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, well, yeah, she has such a specific type of style to her. Yeah, it's just easy to remember. But yeah, that should be it for everything here. Yeah, we're gonna go over. So yeah, that was definitely a good follow up. Yeah, just literally added on to what I just saw. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. So if there are extra that you guys want me to look at, then yeah, happily look at that. But other than that, hope you guys did enjoy this. Make sure you like, subscribe again, and I will see you guys in the next one.